And this one's for you. And you can tell everybody that this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down a word. How wonderful life is, now you're in the world. I forgot about humility. And this is probably a horrible idea. It is. It's going to be a train wreck, but it's only going to get worse. Believe me, that was probably the best part. It came out better than I thought it was. So, just when I thought that I was going to ditch this whole idea and eat and be merry and not have like all this going on in my stomach, I thought of how, you know, you've sacrificed for me and stood by my side in the face of embarrassment, uncertainty, and I vow to return that in kind. So we can start with our first date. Because that's pretty humiliating in itself. Melissa got a good start. She kind of left it just right where I was going to pick up, so that's great. Yeah, appreciate that. Besides, a lot of people have been asking how we met, so this is just a little bit more of a version here. Have you ever met a girl? All right, have you ever met a girl that you tried to date? How much I just hugged, she wanted you to wait. Well, let me tell you the story of my situation. I was talking to this girl from the New York State, and the day that I met her was at work in the lobby. She had just walked in and sat there beside me, acting all cool, even though I was wishing I didn't feel like such a squirrel with indecision. I whispered in her ear, you gotta clean up those pants. She got all huffy and puffy and just shot me a glance. I asked her her name, she said Rebecca. She had small-sized pants and a very big smile. I made a couple of jokes, she was enthused. I said, what I going before my juice? She said, if vodka is used. I started throwing things, she started throwing back mid-range. But when I swung the question, she acted kind of strange. Cause when I asked, do you have a man? She tried to pretend. She says, no, I don't, but I only like you as a friend. Come on. I wasn't even going for that. I was seeing it like this. You got what I need, but you say I'm just a friend. You introduce me as a friend. The piano was a lot better in practice. I was sitting down then, so that's actually kind of how we met. We met at job interviews. Melissa told you more of the embarrassing part, but skipping to the part that Melissa did cover. Yeah, so. Oh, okay. So right where Melissa left off was we were in that room, we were in the meeting, and we were kind of picking on people, and people were picking on us or whatever was going on. And right after that, I had wrote on the notepad, would you like to join me for orange juice? You know, I mean, that's a good thing to follow up with when you're picking on someone's pants. So you just say, yeah, would you? I have no game, all right? It's just orange juice. That's what I. And there was a place close by, so she followed me. We got to a major intersection at the Eastview Mall, and the light turned green, and I began to turn left up the hill, and my car just completely died. And she parked right behind me. And I had been having ignition problems, so I started messing around behind the stereo because I Googled it and I thought that was a good idea, so I was just doing all these things. And next thing I know, like I'm kind of like back into the stereo and I'm under the dash, and all of a sudden I feel like this moving sensation. And I lift my head up, and in slow motion, I'm just like, oh no, I'm gonna hit this girl. Like I was drifting backwards into her leased Jetta. And she was on the phone, and she was on the phone with one of her friends. She's like, oh my God, I think this guy's gonna hit me. This is all in slow motion. So I didn't. I hit the brakes just in time. And so I called my mechanic, Randy Clinton. He's here tonight, Randy. Who's always nervous to answer any call that I make, I'm sure, rightfully so. So I tell him what happened, and he said it's probably a spark plug. Of course it is. I'm trying to make sparks, and the ones in my car are going out. So Beck calls her AAA, but her free times were used up. So she asked, do you have $50 to pay for it? I'm like, yeah, you know. I didn't know if I had $50. I was nervous. Now somehow, I mean, like, who carries that kind of cash on them, you know? Jeez. Somehow I had $56 in my pocket. So the tow guy gets there and he's like, you know, where do you want me to take it? We're like 150 feet from where I was trying to get to. So I'm like, no, just right there by that parking lot right there in that spot. And that's good. We're about 10 feet from the distillery. That's where we wanted to go in the first place. I was like, look, this girl isn't going to say yes twice. So just, you know, get that car over there and then we'll walk to the bar. We'll figure it out. So, plus I still had $6. We're having this orange juice. So he does, and we have the drink, and then there's this rising uncomfortable feeling because there's two things that are kind of happening. One is, I'm afraid she's going to want another drink. She's going to have to pay for it, it's going to get awkward. The other one is that she doesn't have to, but she kind of has to give me a ride home. Like, what am I supposed to do? I'm a long ways. So, I would have understood if she didn't, and up to that point, you know, there was a lot of red flags. I mean, there's a lot of red flags. Like, this was it for us. That's a red flag for anybody. That's, you know, later tonight, hopefully, but that's a red flag. So, and it was like the Roboto of red flags. I mean, it was just, they were everywhere. So, I mean, so she drives me home, and I'm just like, man, this is not gonna work out. Like, what am I supposed to do? Hey, remember me, the guy that asked you out for OJ? My car broke down, almost hit you. Could barely afford OJ, needed a ride home. So did I sense the beginning of something? But she even came and picked me up the next morning to give me a ride to training in torn blue jeans and a faded red hoodie. Her hair was thrown up, semi-curly, total friend status clothes. And you dress like I'm a friend. But it didn't matter. I was in love. She was not quite in love yet. If it was any correlation to cars, we were a pull start, and I was pulling with dates and notes and cute things, and she was not starting. We were bordering a Flintstones mobile, and each time we'd hang out at the end, we'd go to say goodbye, but then we'd slam on the brakes and just hug. And, well, I slammed on my brakes, and true to form, she just seemed to still be apart. It got to the point where I was like, humility, remember this. My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. After 5 months, we finally kissed. And there were sparks. But how could I get a girl like her, I thought. See, because I was still playing this dumb self-pity card.
Enjoy your night. Sorry.
I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me.
He's just a poor boy from a poor family. In his life, from a monstrosity.
Easy come, easy go. This was so much better when I practiced. Like it makes sense.
Cut.
Yeah.
There we go. We'll go.
Take two.
Take two. Let's do it. Retake. So there we were.
Sorry over here. I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me.
He's just a poor boy from a poor family, sparing his life from a monstrosity.
Easy come, easy go, will you let me go? Alright, let's let that one pass. Just know that the thought and effort, like that was like months of practicing that turned into...
Anybody want to hear any Whitesnake? Leopard, maybe? I don't know. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks guys. Some guys, I'm almost done. I'm sorry. Some guys say I'd climb the highest mountain to prove my love, and chances are they won't. It takes a lot of training to get your body and lungs in shape for that type of elevation. And let's be honest, their wives would be like, how long are you going to be gone? I feel like that's a long time. Why don't you spend that time doing more productive things? Not you though, just other wives. Or guys say I'd climb to the deepest depths of the ocean. Doubt it. The freediving world record is 328 feet. The deepest plane was for a girl. Those guys' wives are saying, before you go, I had this last minute list of things I want you to do just in case you rise to the surface too fast. Not true though. You wouldn't say that, just other wives. You might be thinking, Matt, come on, it's the symbology of it. You know I'm not really going to do those things. So when I say I love you, is it just for the symbology of it? Do you think I'm not actually going to do that? You've taught me that action is a double-edged sword. It can give words great meaning or render words meaningless. So I won't promise heights or depths. I'll just promise to act on the vows I made earlier, as well as humility. Which I heard is not thinking less about yourself, it's just thinking about yourself less. Going forward, most of the time we'll feel really close, but sometimes we may feel very distant. People can feel 100 miles apart inside when they're right next to each other. If we ever feel that way, it's almost always because of ego. And I promise to take that step that might seem so small from the outside, but can get magnified out of proportion and become a seemingly impossible leap. Sometimes it might look like honesty, other times doing the dishes, other times forgiveness. Whatever it is, I vow to keep ego in check and let humility keep us together and strong. And I'm gonna not play the piano in this next song, but I'll go for it just because that's what I did the first day I met you, is I went for it. And I didn't know what to say, but I said something, and it turned into this. The storms are raging on a rolling sea, down the highway of regret. Winds of change are blowing wild and free, yeah. But you ain't seen nothing like me, yeah. Down, 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 down. Really cool sounding piano. There ain't nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you. Make you happy, make your dreams come true. To make you feel my love. Love you, babe.
Let's give it up for Matt and the boys! So we have a couple of announcements really quick. The bar is open. Please do not stampede each other. Now that the bar is open, the other thing is we have somebody out there who's going to be doing your caricatures until 10 p.m. tonight. Maybe he'll stay a little longer. So go down there and sit with him and he will draw you. Can get kind of interesting.